a little ride on the Trek 520 Grando. Feeling a little bit under the weather today. Actually, been a little under the weather for the last 6 days, but whatever. Still gonna ride. What I'm doing today, actually, a little bit of a supply run. I'll continue this in a second here, get some traffic up ahead. Going to a specialty meat shop right now, pick up some spicy pepperette sticks, maybe a little bit of beef jerky, and maybe even a good steak. Steak for around the campfire tomorrow or Thursday. We're riding along the Neving River right now, bike path close to home. And electric scooter, cool. And we go off to a specialty meat place, European meats. Get some spicy pepperette sticks, some beef jerky maybe. Maybe pick up a nice steak to have around the campfire first night of the trip. Leaving either tomorrow or Thursday morning. The plans can change. The plan is about an 8-day sea kayak trip over to Lake Superior. Check out some of my favorite campsites. It'll be the last paddling trip I do on Lake Superior for I'm not sure how long. Next year, we'll be focusing on Lake Winnipeg a little more, and maybe a couple northern rivers that would take me up to Hudson Bay. Now, pick up some supplies for this trip. So off to the meat store. I'm going to pick up a couple liters of wine as well. They have glass bottles which are heavy and can break. A couple of the 1 liter Tetra Paks, red wine. Bring that with me. Have a glass or two every here and there over the coming nights. This trip will also be the first test for my new tent, the Eureka El Capitan 2. You may have seen that in a couple videos now. I'm talking about that and getting it set up for the first time. Still not feeling the best. Kind of had a little bit of a relapse 6 or 7 days ago on that old virus thing that was around. Not saying I had it again. It's some of the long-term COVID long effects, as they say. I was doing quite well until almost a week ago. And then back to the point where I'm exerting myself with any amount of energy. Just start coughing. Adjust this camera a little bit here. Don't have the bracket on tight enough. I keep slipping a little bit. Sorry about that. Anyways, I run out of energy quite quick. No strength. Start coughing. Not the best time to be going on a kayak trip out on Lake Superior, especially as we're almost into November and the lake tends to get pretty rough. But that's alright. The reason I'm not sure if I'm leaving tomorrow or waiting until Thursday is the place that's repairing my Kokatat Drysuit. They finally got the seals in yesterday and are going to try and have it ready for pickup by tomorrow sometime. So it's probably going to be too late to head out tomorrow. That's what we're looking at. Hopefully Thursday morning. Having the dry suit back in order. That'll make the trip a little safer. Past trips, if I got caught into rough water or weather system rolled in, I could always count on speed and power, two things I had an abundance of, to just work my way through anything and get off the water with a touch of speed. But right now, I'm going to ease up on the risk level, so to speak. And it's going to be like caution first. Very windy. Going to take a break from the filming. Okay, we're off the main street up there, away from some of the traffic noise. Now we're down along the McIntyre River. The river I was riding along earlier, the Nebing, that flows into this just a little ways further down, a kilometer or so. All goes to plan. I'll be paddling, well, not this part, but just a little further down. If I leave from the house, that's a noisy park here. The most probable plan is to leave from the house, portage over to the river where it goes under the bridge. From there it's about a 5-kilometer paddle going down the Nebing River, then down the last part of this river, the McIntyre, to Lake Superior. Hang a right, start heading for the Canada-US border. Check out a couple campsites along the way. Gonna take my time. Chain of islands as well between the city and the border, and there's some nice campsites out there. Depending on weather conditions, I may cross over, do some of that stuff. There's a real cool hike up on Spar Island too that I'd like to go do again before I leave Thunder Bay. But see what the conditions are like and play it by ear. I'm going to be out for about 8 days. Hope to paddle on maybe 5 or 6 days and take a couple extra days off just in camp, lounge around a little bit, read a book, drink a little wine. We're into a bit of an industrial area here now. The local superstore is just a kilometer or so away. There's a set of red lights up ahead, a set of traffic lights. Right now they're red, soon they'll be green. Anyways, I don't know if you can see that from here on the camera. The meat shop is just up ahead, and that is the first stop for today. Windy day, and I suspect the camera's picking up a lot of wind noise, so I apologize for that. I still have not got around to picking up an external microphone yet. Meant to, just never get around to it. Anyways, this place here, European Meats, locally owned meat shop, and they got some real good stuff. I'm gonna shut off the camera and I'll be back. Alright, so we got our stuff from the meat store. Back along the bike path, going back up along the river, taking a little different route back. The community college is actually into the right, all up in this area. Shortly we're gonna cross a cool new cycling bridge that they built going over the river, continue on the bike path, back up along the Nebing River, and then head up to the LCBO, also known as the wine store. This cycling bridge here, also pedestrian bridge I should say, active transportation. This was just built 2 or 3 years ago, maybe 4. Kind of cool. Used to have to cross over on the sidewalk of that old bridge, and it was narrow, busted up concrete, just like crap. But this is much better. This bike path right here too, this is fairly new, just a few years old. Up ahead, around the corner, continues along the main drag up there and moves in and out of the woods a little bit instead of just being a straight line. So they did a good job on that. And nothing exciting coming up for the next little while, so we're going to shut down the camera for now. Okay, still on the ride towards the wine store. This part of the bike path up here, man, it's windy. This was recently rebuilt this summer. Earlier in the year, had some flooding. This whole section down here was completely underwater. It was nuts. They raised it up a few inches at least. I thought they would have raised it up a little bit more, but a couple inches at least. Better than nothing. This is where I used to do a lot of my running as well. All these bike paths along here. Only got out for one run this year though. Okay, I'm shutting you down, Mr. Camera. Okay, we are approaching our next destination, the LCBO, also known as the wine store. We got a bike rack over here in the back corner. That's where we'll lock the bike up for now and take the camera off. And yes, the bike has been here before. It kind of knows its own way. Okay folks, so we're back on the bike here. We get the wine for the trip. Decided to stretch out the ride a little bit, do this little gravel section that's not too far from where I picked up the wine. I just stopped a few seconds ago to pull the camera back out. I'd taken the GoPro off of the bike when I went into the store, and now I've got it on one of those long selfie sticks. And it's right about here, just before I stopped, I think I saw a bear run across the trail here. Came from the right and headed off somewhere's over there, I believe. At least I think that's what I saw. It was big and black. Sounds like a bear. And this is one of the wettest rides I've had through this section. We've got some heavy rain day before you. Oh, partially yesterday. I can't even talk right. We got some heavy rain Sunday night into yesterday, Monday. Mostly in the morning, a little bit off and on in the afternoon and evening. And now today we've got a gorgeous sunny fall day. Perfect day for a little ride. Okay, I'm going to edit the rest of this out, get the bike turned around, and reset the camera. Okay, we'll continue on from here. So yeah, got the camera turned around now, get myself into video a little bit as I start the ride back. You see your laneway. It's actually an emergency access lane for a subdivision that only has one way in and out, and then it ends at a intersection just behind me there a little ways. There's a little spot further up ahead off into the woods to the right where I used to go once in a while, do a little reading, maybe have a beer. Shot a couple videos in there actually over the years. Cool little spot. Not going to stop in there today, but maybe in the coming week we'll come up here again, hang out a little bit, and go see the old bushcraft shelter that's a little further up here and set off into the woods a bit further. You may have seen a couple of my videos on that over the last couple of years too. Should actually hike in there for an overnight or camp out one night before I move to Manitoba, just so I can knock that off the list. I always figured I would do that. Anyways, I'm going to shut the camera down now, finish this ride. I'm going to end up with about 25 kilometers on the bike here, just doing this running around and just a little bit of extra stuff here today. The cool part is only about 3 or 4 kilometers will be on regular paved road. The rest either bike path or out here doing stuff like this. Anyways, talk to you soon.